Using AI to do your paper for you is, of course, immoral, and I know you would never do that. But there are ways that you can legitimately use AI to help you in your research. Today, we'll take a look at two different chatbots and see how we can sort of play them off against each other. Here's the first one. This is ChatGPT. It's probably the most famous one. The topic that I'm going to use is PFAS, and I'm going to pretend that I don't know very much about this. I only know that these are some chemicals that I've heard about, and I've also heard that they are hazardous to humans and they're ending up in my drinking water. So I'm obviously a little bit concerned about that. No, I'm a lot of bit concerned about that. And I want to do my research paper or my essay on that topic. So I'm going to start just to get some general background. I'm going to go to ChatGPT here and just say, tell me about PFAS. I don't even know what those letters stand for. Let's see what ChatGPT tells us. So obviously this is not very in-depth information, but it does give me some ideas that there is a human health issue. It tells me a little bit about what these chemicals are used for. This might be some kind of background information I might be able to use in my introduction. But the problem here is that none of this is sourced. So it's very vague, general information. Nonetheless, I know that human health is an issue and that in the environment is an issue. Let's take a look at Bing and see what it can do for us. Bing has its own chatbot, which it calls the CoPilot. If you go to bing.com, which is also a search engine, if you just type here, you would get a search that's similar to Google. If you click on this little B over here, it takes you into the chatbot. You can see that it says chat on my screen right now. It's initializing. So now I'm going to pit these off against each other, and I'm going to see what it gives me if I ask the same thing. It takes a little bit longer than ChatGPT, and it does tell you what it's searching for. It doesn't type as fast as I do. It sure is taking its time. Okay, so here we have what Bing has to tell us about it. You can see that it's a little bit more in depth. It tells us the kinds of problems. We can see kidney cancer, testicular cancer, cholesterol. That's kind of interesting. So I can see that it's mentioning human health problems. I don't see as much about environment. It only says that these questions are being looked at. What I do like about Bing is that it tells me what the sources are, and they actually have footnotes showing me what came from when. Most institutions will not let you use Wikipedia, and we can see that this part came from Wikipedia. So that is one of my concerns about ChatGPT. ChatGPT doesn't tell me if it's been using Wikipedia. I don't know where any of this information came from. So I can use it to inform my research, but I don't see any sources here that I can use. In the Bing bot, I have a source that's epa.gov, and if you click on these, it actually will take you directly to the original source. So it does a little bit of your research for you. So now I have some general background information, but that's really not enough for my taste. So I want to find out a little bit more about the impact on human health and also on the environment. So I'm going to ask it, what are the negative impacts on human health and the environment? I'm asking ChatGPT. It's much quicker, but obviously doesn't source its information. So now I have some more specific information than I had in my first query, and these can become search terms. So I can, in my library search, type in PFAS and liver damage, or PFAS and developmental effects, or PFAS and immune system. Let's take a look at what Bing has to say about it. Now, Bing is slower, but it does source its information. That was a lot quicker, wasn't it? Here we can see that there are slightly different topics that Bing came up with. So ChatGPT was specific to endocrine, cancer, immune, liver, and developmental effects. ChatGPT came up with vaccine response, cholesterol levels, infant birth weight, infertility. So we get a better variety by playing them off against each other. Looking at the sourcing, I see a .gov source that might be very good. I happen to know, because I am a researcher, that this is a really good source. This is a peer-reviewed source. That's a professional journal, an academic journal. So I've already found a source. I will have to look at it to make sure it's not secondhand information, but I've already found a good source that I can use for my paper. So again, I can use these topics. I can say PFAS and infertility, or PFAS and infant birth weight, to get more specific information, as well as using these sources here. So I hope all this has been helpful to you, and happy researching.